fellow firewood lovers, this is Chris and we're in the wood yard again. I'm going to talk a little bit about how much money that you want to make selling firewood. Are you interested? I would be interested because money is a fun thing to have. Not having it is not that much fun. I'm not saying it's the only thing, there's more important things, but it's an important thing. So we're going to talk about it. You can make as much money, not as much money as you want, but you can make as much money as you can earn by how much work you do. Kind of like anything else. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. Now, I think there's no problem at all, and I know this because I started out small and got a little bit bigger, but I know I can get a lot bigger. But if a guy or a girl wants to make an extra few $1,000s a year selling firewood, very possible. It's not that hard at all, I don't think. Whether you buy wood or you cut wood on your own property or find a place where you can cut some free wood, I see no problem at all that you could make a few $1,000s extra a year selling firewood. So, what do you need to do that? You need a chainsaw, you need a splitting maul, and either a truck or a trailer that you can put some wood into and that you can haul. That's all you would need. That's it. Or if you're cutting on your own property, you don't even need the trailer. You just need to get the wood somewhere to the front of your property so that you could sell it or a place on your property where people can come and get it. So really all you need is a splitting maul and a chainsaw. And some of you are saying, oh, no, can't be done. Well, I did it. My brother did it. I know another guy that did it. So it can be done. So when I first started, I had a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. It's a 55cc chainsaw, and I had an 8-pound splitting maul. And I sold about 40 face cords of wood the first year. So you don't need much. And the second year, I still had the 455 Husqvarna Rancher that I paid like $350 for and a $20 splitting maul, or $25, whatever I paid for it. That's all I had. I also had a truck that I didn't buy just for that, but I had a truck, so I was delivering wood with it. But you don't have to deliver it. You have people come and get it. So that second year, I sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 face cords, and I was cutting all free wood. So I made some money, but I put it right back into building my business by buying a trailer, buying more chainsaws, buying wood splitters, buying bulk wood, buying truckloads of wood. So I started small and then grew, and you can do the same thing. So I know of a guy, and he's a logger, but he drives truck all the time. But he was able to get some free wood because they have pieces that where he was delivering the wood, paper mills, other firewood people, I guess, people that are cutting wood for in mills, lumber mills that are making lumber. And he was culling pieces out. Culling means he was taking out the junk wood. Wood that was undesirable, stuff that got accidentally cut, or it was in the way of a tree they wanted to cut. So he was getting the discard wood, basically. Or he was getting wood that was either too big or too small or crooked wood. He was getting wood that was nasty stuff. Stuff with crotches, stuff that they didn't want to go through processors in either paper mills or for the lumber industry. So he was culling that stuff out, and then when he would get a pile of it, he would take it to his property, he would cut it and sell it. Well, he built it up, his business, over, I don't know, I'm thinking 10 years or so. I just know he had been doing it a long time, to where he was selling $50,000 worth of firewood a year. $50,000. That's what he was making a year as a side business. So for a lot of people, that's life-changing money. That's whatever you want to buy every year or invest, if you're smart, into growing your money in another way. So that's just one example. I, over the 6 years that I've been doing this, have started out with doing the first year 40 face cords, and I went to 80, then like 120, and then like 200, and then like 240, and and then 300, and then last year was 360 face cords I sold. This next year coming up, my plan is with the wood that I've already got cut and the wood that I'm working on now and wood that I want to get cut, my goal is to have 500 face cords ready by next fall to sell. And I sell it anywhere from $80 a face cord for my softwood to $120 for my premium select high grade stuff that's harder to get around here, which is like cherry and hickory. The oak I sell for $110 a face cord. And I do delivery, and I do charge for delivery once it's past 10 miles, but my delivery is free if it's close by. So, can you make money selling firewood? Yes. Now, are you going to work hard? Harder than you've ever worked before in your life. That is a fact. I've been self-employed for over 30 years, and I consider myself a hard worker. But now that I'm getting this business built up to where it's starting to get to where I can actually put some money away because I've been reinvesting it into buying more wood and buying equipment, it is getting to the point now where it's a lot of work, but I enjoy it. I like working hard. I eat well, basically as much as I want. I sleep well, like I'm out like a light every night. I am getting some bumps and bruises and some sores and things like that from hitting my finger and banging things and hitting my shin on chunks of wood. You know, you're going to get some injuries, but I don't mind that so much. I like working outside because the best day inside is not even close to being as good as the worst day outside. It's just a fact. And if you're watching this, you're probably a lot like me. You'd rather be outside than inside any day. So, a little bit more on the firewood. You can do it in a lot of different ways. You can do it in a small way, just as a little side business. You could sell bundles, you know, on your own property, or you could do some delivery, or you could have it available where people come and get it. A lot of different ways to make money with firewood. One of the things that I didn't mention on my last video, which is the one talking about the different kinds of firewood businesses, is one that I'm starting to pursue. I've got a couple contacts that I just made recently. Is I'm going to start selling to campgrounds. So, because there is a campground that's real close by where I live here, that I have a customer that goes there, has a camper there, a permanent campground reserved, and he told me they do not have firewood available, but a lot of people come and they have fires there. You can have a fire in the fire pits, designated ones they have, or a little fire box stand thing that you make, a fire grate that you make, but they don't sell firewood there and they don't have it available. You have to bring your own because it's a private campground. So that got me thinking, and because I was talking with him about this, and he told me, he says, you know, you could sell a lot of firewood at the campground. So I got to make a contact with the owner of the campground because I didn't want to just go on his property and start selling, you know, to all the people there. I could easily go there though. I could go to any campground and I could hand out a flyer with my information, business cards. I could go to each campground and just say, hey, I sell firewood. I deliver right to you here. Because there's a campground not that far from here, and there's two other campgrounds that are maybe 10, maybe another one's 15, 20 miles away. I could do the same thing there. So I could start selling to the people at the campgrounds. Now, these people are not afraid of spending money, I found out. I didn't realize this because I'm not a camper kind of person. I'm more of a tent guy or sleep under the stars kind of guy. I like to rough it. These people are spending $30, $40, $50, $100,000 on these campers that they park in the spot, and they reserve the spot for a year, and they're paying $2,500, $3,000, $3,500 for their camper to sit there. They're paying for that little bitty spot. Every year they're paying that. One campground in particular that I checked out, they have over 300 spots. 300. And people are paying $3,000 per spot. That's a lot of money. So these people are obviously doing okay. So they've got money to spend, and I know that a fire is a big thing about camping. So that's something I haven't even pursued yet, but I'm going to. So that's a whole nother area of making money selling firewood. Now, I thought about approaching it where I could sell to the people individually, or I could go to the campground owner and say, hey, how would you like to make some money without having to do any work? Who's not interested in that? I'm always interested in that. So my idea is to give him a cut. How we work it out, the details, I'm not sure, but that's just an idea. So I think we covered enough in this little segment here. I just wanted to kind of cover those things about how much money you can make selling firewood. Like I mentioned in the last video, there is a place that I did a little research on, and they sell over 1,000 full cords a year. That's 3,000 face cords, and their prices, their cheap wood is like $120 for like their pine they sell. That's their cheap wood, and you have to go there to get it. Their delivery is additional, and they make, in the video that I watched of the guy, he says they make almost as much money in delivery as they do selling the wood. So I kind of did the rough math in my head. If they're selling 3,000 face cords of an average, because I know their prices go from $120 to $140 to $150 and $160 a face cord. So just say $100 a face cord, but it's actually more like probably $150 on average, and they're selling 3,000 of them, and they make almost as much money in their delivery. Whew, it's millions and millions of dollars their sales are. Obviously they have a lot of employees, and they've got a lot of overhead, and they've got bigger machinery, and they got property, but this could be a big business. What I would consider a big business. Not a big business as in like, it's not like GM or Ford or, you know, IBM or Apple, one of those. It's not that kind of a big a business. But for an average everyday person, you could build this up and actually could very easily be a full-time income. I don't intend on this business ever being my full-time income. To me, this is just a side thing I enjoy doing. It's possible I could get to the point where I could live off of it. It's possible. I don't know that I want to get that big. I'm at an age now where I'm getting closer to retirement, that I don't have to or want to keep working forever, but I enjoy it enough that I think I may have this keep going with this small firewood business that I have for quite a while, as long as I physically am able. Because I think in a way it's helping me keep me younger. I get plenty of exercise, I can tell you that. Like I mentioned before, it'll be the hardest you've ever worked. There's days I go home, I'm just exhausted, I'm wiped out. It's not like I'm a young man anymore either. So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please poke the like and subscribe button. Just kind of give it a couple pokes like this. And I will see you tomorrow. Same wood time, same wood channel. Goodbye.